Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Going on Daily Live. My name is Becky. I am here with Miss Luannah. Good morning.
Hey, so
Hi.
happy to be
It
here.
is a cold Canadian day for both of us.
Yeah, we've got blustering winds here right now on the water, and Wi-Fi is low, so I had to use my phone data to get my computer working.
Well, I mean, at least you have that option, but
Yeah.
if you cut out, we know why.
Yes, then you'll know why. Hopefully you'll be able to.
So today is Wednesday. It is spooky week here on Going on Daily. So we are going to be talking the origin of Halloween. We're going to be talking about Canadian spooky stories. So I'm very excited to share some of these. Why don't you lead us off here with the origin of Halloween?
Oh, sure. Awesome. Yeah, so when I was younger, like when I was like 16, 17, I got interested in earth-based traditions. I was looking
Mhm.
for meaning, and so I was exploring druids and Wicca and all of that. And that's when I started learning more about what Halloween is, and it's actually Celtic Samhain,
Mm.
which is when the veil becomes thinner between our world and the world of spirits, the world of the souls that have passed on. So it was a time to commune with our ancestors of our past,
Mm.
which is completely different than what we do now. Right now, we just make it all about ghosts and spooky, right?
Right.
But essentially, it is about ghosts, but not the way that we've
Right.
learned, right? So yeah, I just wanted to share some information to that too, because also it was called the threshold between summer's light and winter's dark.
Mm.
So it's also the transitioning of seasoning, and they're acknowledging the light and the dark.
Right. Because the
Transitioning
summer
between.
solstice, winter solstice, those are big holiday or
Yeah,
days in
yeah.
some of those. I don't want to call them religions, but whatever they are. These are big days for people.
Yeah, and when you understand that all the traditions, they're built on natural cycles.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
They're, if you look at through different cultures, they're all have the same thing, different
Yeah.
names, a bit of different stories, but really they're following the cycles of nature.
Okay.
When humanity used to use nature as a reflection of self and a
Very cool.
reflection of cycles and patterns in life, right? And so when we understand ourselves as nature, then we can see, just as a side thing, like we all can have inner tsunami days. We
Yeah,
can have
right.
hurricanes that rip through our life,
Fair.
emotionally, mentally, right? We have sunny rainbow days. We have high electric days and momentums, right?
Totally fair.
So back in those days, nature was the reflection of their true nature. So they tried to
Mm,
understand themselves through observing nature,
cool.
right? And so they lit the fires, they wore disguises. And the reason they wore disguises is to ward off evil spirits.
Mm.
That's where that came from.
So you said that they were trying to communicate with the
With deceased, but
with
then other lost souls, they wanted to
right to keep them away. So this is
keep
kind of
them
similar
away.
to like in Mexican culture, Dia de los Muertos, right?
Totally. Yeah, exactly.
So it's no different than Halloween for them.
Exactly.
Very
Exactly.
interesting.
The same kind of meaning behind it, but we've kind of lost touch with that in North America. So I've got
Mm.
some facts here I wanted to just,
Okay,
I've got them written out here.
cool.
So the Celtic festival of Samhain, celebrated around October 31st to November 1st. The Celts regarded this time as the end of summer, beginning of winter, and believed the boundary between the living and the dead was most thin, like most capable to commune between. The customs were bonfires, offerings, costumes to ward off or honor spirits, one or the other. The name Halloween comes from All Hallows Eve, and it's the evening before the All Saints Day.
Mm.
Transition into Christian tradition and cultural layers. In the 8th century, the church designated November 1st as All Saints' Day, and the night prior became All Hallows' Eve. Many medieval and folk traditions layered in souling. It was the offering of foods and cakes in exchange for prayers. So we do our trick or treating, but the origin was for prayers, in
Oh,
exchange for
interesting.
prayers. So you would give the food, and then people would say a prayer,
Wow.
or your ancestors. Your deceased is a completely different. I didn't know that. I learned that when
No,
I was researching. That was pretty cool to say, because I'm like, well, where does the trick or treating come from?
right.
And that's the
That
origin,
makes sense. Oh,
right?
interesting.
Pretty cool, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. So offering foods, cakes in exchange for prayers for the dead.
Wow.
Yeah, and a part of that was getting dressed up as different things, right? So it was like animating in a different way.
Were these prayers to the dead? Was it to communicate with them? Was it to
Yeah,
bless them? Was
to
it to
bless them
send
and
them on?
communicate. Yeah, to
Hmm,
bless them,
interesting.
communicate, and even ask them to bless
Oh, interesting.
the family, right? So that
Ron says Candy Company twisted it. Well,
yeah,
as most things, original origins have been twisted for commercial value. Yes.
totally. But I thought that was really cool. So it was called souling. What we call
Souling.
trick or treating was called souling,
Mm-hmm.
right? One core meaning is that this night invites us to communion with those who have passed. And
Mm-hmm.
it's an acknowledgement of the unseen, of memory, and of the presence of life beyond loss. So
Okay.
that we're just transitioning, we're just in a different form.
Right.
We're not physical, but that consciousness or the soul is still living
Mm.
in the other realm. And so this is the days approaching, and the days thereafter are the closest that we can connect.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Very interesting.
Jack-o'-lanterns, in the olden days in Ireland, Scotland, they used turnips.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
That is some nimble.
that's very like tiny little. I just visualized this little like Groot looking turnip, right?
Yes. Yes. Hi, Danny. Yeah,
And
like I'm picturing that tiny little turnip and just trying to get your knife in there and trying to like I
yeah,
find a pumpkin hard. So I
totally,
can't even imagine.
totally. And so they were carved to either protect or amuse the spirits.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I learned that when I was researching too, because I knew about All Hallows Eve, but I thought, oh, thank you, Danny. Hey, Danny.
I disagree, Ron. I like pumpkins. I like the taste of pumpkins. I like carving pumpkins.
I
I like
like
pumpkin
pumpkin pie.
seeds. Oh, pumpkin
Oh, I have a
pie.
secret tip for pumpkin pie.
Oh, yeah.
Add add a heaping tablespoon of tahini in whatever recipe you use.
Oh, that would give it like a nutty sort of,
Oh my
well, not
gosh,
even
it just
nutty.
yeah,
Mm.
it gives it a whole different flavor and texture. That's my secret with my
I'm
pumpkin
gonna try
pie.
to make it this year. I've never tried to make it, so
Oh, it's totally wonderful. Yeah,
okay, exciting.
yeah. And the costumes they were wearing to
Mhm.
either hide from the spirits or imitate them.
Oh, interesting.
Right? Isn't that cool? I thought
Yeah.
that was really amazing.
So,
And then
like, this practice, it really has some very religious roots almost or spiritual roots to it.
spiritual,
It goes
exactly.
beyond just it's like fun and dress up and go get candy. There is like a lot of history to it.
Exactly. And that's what I thought to bring that out to the world because unless you research it,
Yeah.
we don't know. Right. And so
Yeah.
it was also a harvest time facing winter's dark half, reminding us of
Mhm.
the natural cycles of life, death, and rebirth.
Mhm.
And then I got some fascinating facts.
Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah. So bonfires were seen as the beacons for the departed.
Oh.
Yeah. So the great Samhain bonfires weren't only for warmth or warding off evil, they were guiding lights for ancestors, helping souls find their way home.
So it's
Found,
like the light that they say people see when they're dying. That's the light. Go to the light.
yeah,
The
yeah,
bonfire
totally.
light. Yeah,
Totally.
interesting.
Yeah, families would carry home embers from the communal fire to relight their hearths,
Oh,
symbolizing renewed life and connection between the realms.
very interesting.
So, a little bit more about the trick or treat. It began as souling. In medieval times, people went door to door offering prayers for the departed in exchange for soul cakes.
Hmm.
Each cake eaten was said to free a soul from purgatory. It was an act of reciprocal remembrance, transforming fear of death into community care and prayer.
Oh, wow.
I never would have thought that from the trick or treat. Like,
No. And I
it's
would
just
imagine it probably wasn't children doing it, or maybe the children had to come along with their parents,
it
but I
probably
would
came along with
imagine it was more of an
parents.
adult behavior.
Yeah, so it was more of an adult thing, and the kids tag along. But now it's a kids thing, and the adults tag along. So kind of
Interesting.
it's this reversal, okay?
Yeah.
And so again, so they also used beets to make jack-o'-lanterns,
Mhm.
which
Beets.
I think beets, yeah. So turnips or beets.
Beets are hard to cut. Like, and
I
a
know.
turnip too, I'm just thinking of, like, scooping out the inside. They probably did. They probably just put something on the outside and didn't put a candle in it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And so they represented the spirit of stingy Jack,
Stingy Jack, okay.
a wandering soul between worlds. When
Oh,
Irish immigrants brought the tradition to North America, pumpkins became the vessel. So that's when it changed. larger, brighter, and easier to carve, symbolizing light guiding us through the darkness.
Right.
So Halloween was also once a night of divination.
Yeah,
Long before
naturally.
long before crystal balls and tarot, young women used Halloween as a sacred night of love divination, peeling apples to read initials in the skin. I heard about that before, or gazing into candlelight mirrors to glimpse future partners. It was understood that when the veil thinned, intuition and foresight expanded. Cool, hey?
A lot of information. Wow, I had no idea any of this was happening.
Yeah, that's why I thought this would be great to share here, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And across cultures, the theme is the same: connection. The Celts had Samhain, the Mexicans celebrate Dios de los Muertos, and in Asia, there's a ghost festival, all honoring the same truth. Death is not the end, but a transformation. These festivals remind us that love transcends form and that remembrance is a bridge between worlds.
Okay, wow.
Change the whole understanding of Halloween forever,
Totally.
hey?
Absolutely. Ron, I'm ignoring that mom joke or dad joke there. That's bad. That's bad.
And here's just a Celtic tale. It's called The House of the Dead, Tech Dawn. And in ancient Irish tradition, the first night of Samhain, October 31st, marked the boundary of two halves of the year, the light half of the summer and the dark half of winter. At that threshold, the boundary between the living world and the other world became thin. According to legends, the souls of the departed traveled to a place called Tech Dawn, the House of Dawn, who was the god of the dead and the ancestral threshold. In this story, the families would light fires and leave a seat or a portion of food for the ancestors, inviting their presence into their home. As Samhain began, the dead might travel from Tech Dawn to visit the hearth homes of their living kin, to share in the feast, to offer blessing, or to remind the living of the continuity of life and death. The festival held both reverence and ritual, bonfires, offerings, divinations. The night stood suspended between the worlds. Yeah.
It's very interesting how a lot of these very commercialized or common holidays for us actually have these like pagan roots.
Yes.
Like
They all
Easter,
do. Easter, yeah. Christmas,
Christmas. Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I thought that was exciting to share that.
Yeah, very interesting. Had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Beautiful. That's good. That's what I want to do, is bring new information and expand my
Totally.
thought. Yeah.
Yes, totally. Well, thanks for that.
Yeah.
I am going to shortly get into this place behind me here, which you might be familiar with since you are a Canadian. But before I do that, let's get into where everyone can find us. Of course, we are live right now: YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Rumble at Rhode Island Broadcasting, Twitch at RI_broadcasting, and now on X, Twitter at Broadcasting RI. You can follow along, subscribe, click the bell, whatever it is that platform offers. Please do it so that you know when we are on. You can also listen to us. Oh, what do we got? Oh, we got 3 already on Twitter. That's awesome. We are also on audio. If you can't watch us live, you can hear us on Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio at RI Broadcasting. Of course, we have 45 different social medias that you can go follow. You may not have all of these, but if you've got one, drop us a follow. MeWe, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Parlor, Space, Hey, Gab. And of course, we're on Patreon as well. All of those things are RI Broadcasting. Patreon, we have subscriptions available to keep our show going. And of course, on X at Broadcasting RI. Now, if you don't have any of these guys right here, you probably have Facebook, I'm guessing. So if anything, follow our Facebook at Going On Daily Morning Show. Danny, have you been following our morning show? I don't know if you have been. Going On Daily Morning Show on Facebook. We want to be able to go live there as well. So not only YouTube, Twitch, Kick, X, we want to go live on Facebook. So make sure you like us over there. And finally, support the show at RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net. Now, if you don't remember Space, Hey, Gab, MeWe, all those things, you can just go to RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net, where we have all of our social information. And not only that, we have a Hall of Fame every month. Yeah. We are coming to the end of this month. We are looking at 80s TV shows, Cheers, Happy Days, Golden Girls, MASH, Married with Children. You can vote for your favorite. I believe Golden Girls is still in the lead, which I thought it might be. Oh, it's up by only one. I thought it was going to be tight with Cheers in second, then Married with Children. And I think that's actually the order it's going in. So make sure you have your say, place a vote, and they will move on. Yeah, Cheers and MASH. Exactly what I figured. Oh, MASH. Oh, no, I thought Married with Children. Okay, that's surprising. But yes, they'll have your say, and this will go on into the Hall of Fame. So far, we've got the Beatles from August. We have got Grease. I'm shocked by that one for September, and it looks like Golden Girls might take it. Really, Married with Children, 0 votes. I would consider that more of a 90s show than an 80s show, but I probably started in the 80s. Anyway, yes. So make sure you follow us there at RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net. All right, are you ready to hear some spooky tales about Canadian landmarks?
Yes.
Let me hold on. Let me get out of the way so we can see this better. I'm going to come over to the side. Luckily for me, my microphone moves now. So this place behind me is in Banff. So Ron, I know you're watching. Danny, I know you're watching. When I went and was live on location in April, when I saw deer while I was walking, I was in Banff. So this was here. We went here. We go here every time. We go walk around. It's beautiful. It's a big old historic hotel. We go to the hot springs. We do all the things. So, but there are ghost stories from Banff here. So I'm going to read it to you.
Is that the Fairmont?
That's the Fairmont. Yeah, that's the one in Banff.
Lake Louise, right?
No, there's also Lake Louise. Also haunted.
Oh, okay.
They say all of these are haunted. So the reason I even thought about this is yesterday on the show, Sharon was talking about in Winnipeg, there's a hotel that's haunted. And I asked her, is it a Fairmont hotel? Because all of these guys seem to be haunted. There seems to be stories from Edmonton, from Calgary, from Victoria, Banff, Lake Louise, Jasper. All of these Fairmont hotels seem to be haunted. So I figured, let's talk Banff, because I go here at least once a year. I've been to this particular building multiple times. I've seen these places that they say are haunted inside. So I thought it'd be cool to talk about.
Cool.
So this is in the Rocky Mountains of Alberta. It is so beautiful in Alberta. For all my American friends who have never been to the Rocky Mountains, you must come. You must. It's gorgeous. Yeah. So nestled in these mountains is one of Canada's most elegant and most haunted hotels. The Banff Springs Hotel, the Fairmont Banff Springs. So the story begins almost a century ago. Banff Springs was hosting a grand wedding. Now the ballroom in there, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. My friends and I went and danced in there and pretended that it was our little wedding. And yes, we were like 38 doing this, but it was so beautiful inside. A young couple from a wealthy Calgary family was there. It was their daughter getting married. It was a day of laughter, champagne, piano music, as it is when someone gets married. But then tragedy struck. Before the ceremony, just right before it, the bride was walking down this stone staircase. And it is quite I don't want to say it's super tight, but it is all concrete or stone. And it is winding a little bit. And you have to go down them from whatever room or suite she was in to the ballroom. She was absolutely beautiful, of course, as she would be. Candles then lined the steps. It would have been absolutely amazing to see this. Mm-hmm. But she tripped. Now, some say she tripped on the hem of her dress. Others say that maybe the veil got touched by the candle's flame. Either way, her dress caught on fire. Oh. She panicked, of course. She stumbled. She fell. She tumbled all the way down the stairs to her death. Like I said, these are made of concrete or of stone, maybe marble. I don't know. It is hard. There's not a lot of cushion,
No,
fall and go, oh, I'm fine. No, she fell to her death. But since that night, again, this was 100 years ago. Since that night, guests and staff have reported seeing her. This figure in a long flowing gown drifting silently through the hotel ballroom or gliding down the staircase with her dress glowing faintly as if lit from within. They call her the Ghost Bride. Now, there's actually a placard on the wall in this. Ron, you need to anyway. There's a placard on the wall in this stairwell that actually talks about this. So it's not like it's hush hush, like, ooh, we don't talk about this in the Banff Springs Hotel. No, they talk about it. That's for sure.
Wow.
Now, to go on, there is also another part to a different story, but that adds to the haunting of this hotel.
Mhm.
So, of course, we'd love to say that the death ends at this one bride, but unfortunately not. She's not the only spirit that is said to wander the halls there.
Oh,
On the
wow.
upper floors, there's another legend. This one is of Sam the bellman. His name was Sam McCauley. He worked at the Banff Springs Hotel for decades. And apparently everyone loved him. He was cheerful, always helpful, sharp in his uniform. He did pass away in the 1970s, but according to some guests, he never really left the premises. People
Wow.
have reported an elderly bellhop appearing. Oh my gosh, that gives me the chills just thinking about it. They've reported an elderly bellhop appearing in old uniform style, helping them with their bags, showing them to their room, only to vanish when they try to tip him. Yuck. I would be
Oh
terrified.
my gosh. That
Can you
would
imagine?
be.
You're like, oh, the sweet old guy is in this like cute little vintage outfit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Say maybe we could have Danny go to all these haunted places and sleep overnight with cameras. Oh my gosh.
All right,
No.
you're on task, Danny.
Listen, I've stayed at not the Banff one, I've stayed at the Calgary and the Edmonton Fairmonts. They look a lot like this. I don't hear of anything, even though they say.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not really open to things approaching me in the spirit world either. So
Right.
there's also that. So yeah, I guess he vanishes when they try to tip him. One guest actually described him riding the elevator alone late at night when the doors opened to a dark, empty floor. And standing there was Sam, smiling politely. He asked what floor this guest needed and then disappeared before she could answer. Oh my word. Absolutely not. Pack my bags. Give me a refund. I'm out of here. Don't even give me a refund. And then I'd love to say that ends there, but unfortunately there's more. But wait, there's more. There's room 873. The story goes that decades ago, a family was murdered inside of room 873. When the room was cleaned, I mean, I'm just going to back it up a bit. It is so expensive to stay at these hotels. If you're going to murder your family, why are you spending all that money to like wreck a beautiful landmark like this? Is there no like $40 a night motel you could do that in? Anyway, that's stupid. That was a stupid thing to say. The room was cleaned. The staff couldn't scrub away the bloodstains. Gosh, can you imagine? They'd reappear on the walls and carpet. They would just reappear. Guests would complain of screams in the middle of the night and cold spots inside the room. So the hotel sealed it off completely. If you walk down that hallway today, which of course we did, you will see where 873 should be and a smooth wall between 872 and 874. But if you knock on that section, I didn't know this. Some will say you hear a knock back. Oh Lord, no, absolutely not. So yeah, the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel still stands, of course. It's beautiful. It's super expensive. Thousands visit every year. And for the most part, nobody sees anything unusual, like I said. But every now and then, someone catches a flicker of movement in the ballroom mirror or a handprint on the wall outside of 873. And late at night, when the mountain air is cold and still, a few claim they can hear the rustle of a wedding dress sweeping softly down the stairs. Absolutely not.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a creepy place. Maybe tomorrow I'll look into like the Edmonton one or the Jasper one, because they're all equally as beautiful as this. I wish this one was actually more zoomed in so everyone could see how magical this place is. But yeah, haunted apparently.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably the closest one to you would be the Victoria.
Yeah, that would be the closest
And it's
one.
also amazing, and they also say haunted. So
Really?
I don't know why. I don't know why. It must just be something someone says, yeah, the Fairmont hotels are haunted, just so you know. And then it spreads.
Yeah. And then they become known for that. And then
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Wow. So you've got a story about a little ghost named George.
Yeah, I do. I was thinking, what am I going to say? What am I going to share? And I thought, well, I have a ghost story from my childhood.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, from our home.
Wow.
Yeah, in Pickering, Ontario. So my sister, she was 5 years older than me. She's passed away, unfortunately,
No, I'm
but
sorry.
bless her. So maybe I'm closer to her right now. Maybe she's guiding the story through me right now because
Yeah,
I was
right.
thinking, what can I talk about, right? So she told my dad and I that she was often pinched in the shower,
Oh,
and she thought it was us teasing her. We're like, no,
no.
nobody's done that, and we're thinking, okay, she's got a wild imagination, right?
Right.
And she's like, no, there's a ghost, right? And she had an intuition. She had a near death experience when she was 12.
Oh, wow.
So she was dead for a minute and she came back, and then she was in a coma for quite a long time before she came back to relearn how to do everything. I mentioned this in one talk once before,
Yes.
right? So, you know how people with near death experiences, they tend to come back and say they have an extra perception
Yes, of
of
course.
reality, right?
Yeah.
So we had a hard time believing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she did a seance with some friends, back then,
Oh,
and I guess
geez.
it was like the late 70s or 80s, early 80s. It was
Like a
early
Ouija
80s.
board or
The
something.
Ouija board was a big
Very
thing.
popular, yes.
Yeah, so she had some friends over and she did a seance, and apparently it was a man named George that died in our home.
No,
That's
thank you.
Yeah, that's what she said. And we're like, okay, well, it's kind of hard to believe. But then one day when I was vacuuming the living room, the phone was way at this corner. I was way over here, and the phone got thrown across the room behind me. And I was just like,
Oh my
oh
gosh.
my gosh, what is that? And I was like, I couldn't refute that. And then my dad had an experience where he woke up and he was levitating in the bed. And it totally freaked him out.
Oh, of course it would.
And then I
Oh
had
my
an
goodness.
experience, and Lori had said this too, that she had felt like something pulling off her covers. And so that happened to me again as well. So we had this awareness of this George ghost who is like a prankster. He never harmed. He just did.
Okay. He was just a messer.
Would
Okay.
move things around and make himself known.
Ugh.
Yeah, and then I moved out when I was 18 and I went to Europe. And so Lori said that George was still active. She still lived at home for many, many years. And then I was 19, 20 when I went back, and I was getting more into spirituality, crystal healing. And through that, I met this guy who does exorcisms to clear. And so I said, hey, we have this ghost in our home. Parent George, this is the experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but before that, I wanted to share this experience. This was really funny. This is a really funny story. So I told a friend of mine, Alex, I was in high school, and so we just talked about, oh yeah, we have a ghost in our house, George the ghost, right? And they're like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So this guy came over, and we were watching a movie, and he didn't believe it, and he got pinched.
No.
He got pinched, and
Wow.
he got up, he put his shoes back, and he ran out the door. He said, I'm never coming back here again.
That is insane. So,
really
like, it wasn't just your sister overreacting or
No,
pretending.
he got
George is
pinched.
frisky.
And he was the guy who was, yeah, George is frisky. He was like, I don't believe in ghosts. There's no way. You're just making up a story, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, George was like, okay, I'll show you. He pinched him.
Oh my
And
gosh.
he just booted it out there. He never came back to the house again.
Well,
He was
naturally.
kind of, of course, right? So, anyways, fast forward again. So I brought this guy over to do a house cleansing, and he said that he connected to the energy and helped it back into the light. So and so when I go into the house now, when I go visit, I don't feel a presence anymore. But yeah, so that's my ghost story. I grew up with that. So for me, it's natural that there can be, souls that are still hanging around that haven't found their way back to the light. Maybe they die. They say when people die suddenly, right? Sometimes they don't even know they're dead and they're still walking around in the spirit realm, or they hang out in our energy field and things like that because we have something similar. So yeah, that's a little bit of the paranormal possibilities of the other side. Yeah, when people get stuck or lost.
Kyle was talking yesterday about, something very similar about having quote unquote a ghost that's bright in his house. And yeah, I've never experienced anything like that. I'm happy. I've never experienced. I'm a huge baby. I don't even like sounds in my house. If there's like a noise in the, I don't know, the vents or something,
Yeah,
big baby.
yeah, yeah.
I don't like it because what am I going to do? I can't fight a ghost, that's for
Can't
sure,
see it.
but I can't fight an intruder either. So
Yeah, yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah.
think if any of my friends have experienced that. No, Ron, you get it all the time where you live? Oof. Ooh, I'd be moving. I'd be moving. I mean, I don't know if I even believe in ghosts, to be honest, but um, I think when you get a lot of these really old, everywhere you go, oh my goodness. Um, I think when you get these old buildings with a lot of history in them,
Yeah,
you know, sometimes someone's kind of bound to see or feel something,
yeah, for sure.
right?
Because energy lingers. I remember one of my favorite things when I went to Europe was visiting the old castles.
Oh, I bet.
But the
Yeah,
most terrifying, I always got chills, is going into the torture chambers.
of course.
Of course,
The
right? So
darkness that
the dark,
surrounds that.
and there was just like this feeling, right? You could feel
Yeah.
something in those castles.
I mean, there's so much death around that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And maybe some people deserved it. Maybe some people didn't deserve
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's spooky. I
So when
don't
you
like
think of parallel realities coexisting at the same time, maybe we're also tapping into what is still existing, but in a different dimension.
for sure. I definitely believe in interdimensional things. I don't know if I would call them ghosts, but I don't know.
Hmm.
Demons maybe. But yes, I definitely think there is something like interdimensionally. Like that being said, I don't believe in aliens either, but do like at least not intergalactic, but interdimensional. I do.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So call it what you want. Maybe they're from a planet, maybe they're from this planet, but in the same realm or different realm.
Right,
So
right. Yeah.
I want to know more about Ron, and everywhere that he goes, something pops up. That
Yeah,
is,
Ron, come on, let us know. Tell us a story.
we need to know.
Yeah,
Like,
we need
are
to
you
know what that
talking
is.
to them?
Yeah.
Do you just feel like your hair stand up on your arms? Like, do you see things? Like, I need to know. And also, like, maybe you need, I don't know, holy oil or something. As you were talking about that story, I was thinking, oh, Ron's here. Okay,
Great,
good, good,
great.
good,
Oh,
good.
well, tell us,
We
Ron.
need to know.
I got the all the crap in the way, but
That's okay.
like I told a story with Kyle Chuck the other day
Mm.
about the camp that I used to work at. Now I never believed in ghosts until that incident. But what I can tell you is another story when I started my gaming business, playing video game tournaments and stuff like that. We used to be in this little like mini mall kind of thing. And it used to be like, it's an old building. It was around forever and ever. And after tournaments, I used to just hang out and just play Call of Duty online.
Hmm.
So one night, and I had already experienced some noises and stuff like that. And this is, you know, it's already, established that there's something there. I was playing online with a friend of mine, and all you could hear is snapping, like out into the hallway area. And my friend that I was playing online with, he was like, "What is that noise?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's just somebody snapping." Right? And he's like, "Well, tell him to stop." And I'm like, "I can't." And
Wow.
he's hearing this clear as day.
Through Xbox
And
Live.
yeah, playing Xbox Live. And
Wow.
he's like, "It's driving me crazy. You got to tell him to stop." And I'm like, "Okay." So I opened up the door and you can hear the snapping. And I said, "Please stop." And it didn't stop, right? Of course, it's not going to stop, right?
Right, right.
Mhm.
So he's like, what are they doing? And I'm like, "I don't know. There's really nobody here." And he's like, "Get out of here. Yeah, who's there with you?" And to make the long story short, I just said, "Anybody here?" And all you could hear is, "I'm here."
No.
No.
Clear as day. He's like, I
No.
thought you said nobody was there. And I'm like, there's nobody here.
Was it like a little girl, a boy, a man, a
It
woman?
sounded like a kid. It
Yeah.
sounded like a kid.
Did you ever
So
find
it
out if
was,
a child was killed in that arcade or in that mall or
as far as I know, nothing has happened there. And then
kidnapped?
like a week later, had a tournament, and one kid was still waiting for a ride. Well, he was already an adult by then. He was like 25. I call him a kid. And so we're upstairs, waiting at the door because my business was downstairs in like the basement area,
Yeah.
and we just heard, tables move. So we look at where the tables are, and there's nobody there. And we start walking towards those tables, and then all we hear is footsteps right in front of us. Like
Wow.
clunk, 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 clunk.
Wow.
And the kid looks at me, is like, I am never staying here this late again.
Yeah.
Wow. Kind of like my friend who ran
And
out
then
the
the
door.
third time,
Yeah.
the third incident where people are witnessing this is I'm standing outside of my business, and there's like a little bar there that I set up, for snacks and drinks and stuff like that. And I'm talking to a friend of mine. He stopped by with pizza. We're eating pizza and stuff like that. And all you hear is like somebody dragging a box, a big heavy box on the ground, on the floor upstairs. He's like, it's late. There's people still open upstairs? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, what is that? It's like, sounds like a box.
So,
And
right.
Wow.
he's like, well, who is it? I was like, it's nobody. And he insisted on going up, and I'm like, you don't want to go, and you don't want to know. I'm just telling you
No,
right now.
you don't want to know
So-
who's making that noise.
No, you don't want to know. And he went upstairs, and he's like, there's nobody up there, but I can clearly hear the box being dragged.
Wow.
Like, I know that.
Woo.
He's like, you're
Incredible.
here during all this? And I'm like, I hear it all.
Mm-mm.
I hear it
Mm-mm.
all. There's always noises. And it's just this stuff follows me around everywhere.
Wow.
Everywhere.
Interesting.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I
Have
have
you ever-
other stories, but I'll
Have
leave
you
you
ever gone
guys
to
the
a
rest of
psychic
it.
or anything to act like somebody who's like
Nope.
a genuine
Nope.
clairvoyant to
Nope.
find out why? Wow.
I just go with it. Whatever.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
it.
Like opened
Well,
yourself
I'll leave it
up
to
to this
you.
somehow.
It's a perfect time to tell the stories. Like, people can think I'm out of my mind, but I'm not out of my mind. I mean,
No, not at all.
I'm a pretty smart guy, and I always look for those. Okay, what could cause that? And there's just some things that you just can't explain, and we'll just go with that. Like you said, Becky, it could be something on another plane, another dimension that's just bleeding over into us. We'll just go with that.
Or residue kinetic energy of souls of
Yeah.
people who did live here, right? Yeah.
I mean, as long as
Exactly.
nothing's like trying to hurt you or it's like real creepy,
Absolutely.
so I wouldn't
Now,
be.
there's some negative sides that I've seen too, but that's for another day.
Save
Maybe
it
next
for
year.
another story, right?
Next year.
Dang.
All right.
That's
I'm
terrifying.
out.
Thanks, Ron.
Jeez.
Woo!
Well,
I got goosebumps.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, before we get to my last story, I feel like we have a little bit of time here. I asked ChatGPT to give me a story about that Empress Hotel, the Fairmont in Victoria,
Oh, cool. All right.
because apparently there are some. And I wasn't even thinking that I should get a picture of the Empress so that everyone can see it. It's so beautiful. It does look very, very similar to the one that I currently have on the screen, but give me a second. I'm just going to save the picture here and bring it up.
Yeah, they have similar style of.
Yes, it's definitely the same engineer or architect who designed these. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got here? Here we go. It's just loading. I don't know why I'm super laggy right now. There we go. So it looks very, very similar.
Oh yeah.
So I'll go over here again so everyone can see. Oh, it's backwards, but that's fine. Whatever. So this is in Victoria, British Columbia, so not far from where Luannah lives,
Just
on
in
her neck of the woods, right? And
Yeah.
how long is it to get to Victoria for you?
an hour and 40-minute ferry ride, but it's a milk run, so it stops at one or two islands on the way there. depending.
Okay, interesting.
About
So
an
you're
hour.
really secluded where you are, hey?
Yeah, totally. We don't even have a bank on the island.
Wow.
We don't have enough people to have a bank. We just have machines to take out cash.
Yeah, right. That's
You
it.
can't do any banking here at all, right? Yeah, it's a
Crazy.
so anybody's looking for going back in time where it's just really rustic in nature, and
Yeah.
that's where I am. And
Are
it's
you in
so
a town or what is it called?
It's called Galliano Island.
Okay.
So yeah,
The Galliano drink, the alcohol that tastes like vanilla?
no, the Spanish explorer that discovered it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the drink is probably named after him then.
possibly.
Danny the ghost is here. Woo. All right, so this is about the Empress Hotel in Victoria. So on the edge of Victoria's Inner Harbor, so it's like right in the middle of their quote unquote downtown, I guess. It's very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's another historic and beautiful building, the Fairmont Empress Hotel. It's got these ivy covered walls and grand Edwardian architecture, as we were just talking about. And it looks something out of a fairy tale, and it's no different inside as well. Absolutely beautiful. So if you do talk to the locals, they'll tell you the hotel's beauty hides a few secrets. I wish I had sound effects here. Some call it, right? Some call it Canada's Castle by the Sea, and others call it haunted. The Empress opened its doors in 1908, over a century.
Oh, great. Okay,
Interesting.
Ron.
And it's small. Royals, movie stars, and travelers from every corner of the world have stayed here, of course. But everyone who checked in, or not everyone who checked in, truly checked out. This music is terrifying. So, one of the most famous spirits said to linger in the hotels is Francis Rattenbury, a man who actually designed this building. He was a brilliant architect, but his life ended in tragedy. He was murdered in England in 1935, bludgeoned to death by his wife's young lover. Dang, tragic. His body was buried overseas, yet somehow guests and staff at the Empress claim he came home to the place he loved the most, the Empress Hotel. They say he's often seen wandering the hallways, especially near the lobby, dressed in a top hat and cape, looking just as he did in his prime. Some guests report seeing a distinguished gentleman appear in the mirrors or reflected in glass, only to turn around and see no one there. Absolutely not. There's like that. I mean, I'm just gonna say, like, I don't know how that would be possible, right? If the guy died and was buried, how he would get over here, but I don't know. I don't know how
the soul is not bound by body or time.
That's right. Maybe astral projected over here.
Yeah.
Then there's the story of the housekeeper. So at night, staff have reported seeing an elderly woman in an old-fashioned maid's uniform knocking on guests' doors. When they answer, she politely tells them it's time to check out. But here's the strange part. It's usually around 1 or 2 in the morning. Luannah, don't check out at a hotel that Becky is talking about right now. Yeah, don't
I won't
stay
check
there.
in, and then I won't check out.
It's like the Eagles. You can, what is it?
Hotel
Check
California.
in. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't. I don't
check
know.
in, but you can't check out.
You can't ever leave. That's what it is, right? And of course, there is no checkout at 1 or 2 in the morning. And no such maid is even on the staff roster. So, and finally, the most unsettling report comes from the top floor. Some guests have woken up to the sound of whispering. How does a whisper wake you up? But just at the edge of sleep, or the faint smell of cigar smoke in the rooms where smoking hasn't even been allowed for decades.
Wow.
Despite the stories, the Empress does remain one of Canada's most beloved hotels. It's a national treasure, of course, filled with elegance and charm and a few mysteries. So if you ever find yourself in Victoria, obviously go here. You can't miss it. It is like the highlight of Victoria, next to all the beautiful ocean beaches there. Take a walk past it at night. It's even more amazing. And maybe you'll even catch a glimpse of this architect himself, or hear the knock, knock, knock of the maid at your door. Hopefully not.
Well, they offer high tea there as well.
Yeah, they do.
I've never done it. I've heard it was really nice, but I've never done that before. But it's a way to experience it if you want to go in there. Go for high tea if you don't want to check in, but
you want to go and walk around. It is very cool. Like I said, these hotels are absolutely beautiful. So if you find yourself in Victoria, I don't know if Vancouver has one. I would imagine they would, but
Vancouver has one downtown.
Oh, it does. Okay, I figured they did. Yeah. So Victoria, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Banff, Jasper. I guess Winnipeg has one as well. Well, I can't remember if she said it was a Fairmont. Either way, definitely get yourself.
Those ghost hunters that have those shows with just focus on the Fairmont chain, right? That would be fun.
Yeah, literally. Ron, you'll like this. These Fairmonts, they are dog friendly, and a lot of them have a resident dog as well. Cool. So I know the one in Edmonton actually just died recently, but it's neither here nor there. We've already had a spooky enough show. I don't want to ruin it.
That music was totally like
it was so creepy. Yes, creepy.
Good one,
okay,
Ron.
we've got one more story. We've got about 10 minutes left, so I'll be able to get to this story. It is about, let me change the graphics here. The ghost ship of Northumberland Strait. And I'd never heard of this. This is another Canadian story. Again, the things that you can find when you're looking for them, hey? Mm-hmm. So, excuse me. This comes from Nova Scotia. So for Ron, where he is, this is not far from you. This is straight north. This is Nova Scotia. So this is a province. It's in the ocean, essentially, in our Maritimes. Very beautiful place. But there are a lot of reports of all kinds of things up there. This is where you're getting the hurricanes. This is where you're getting the sharks. This is where you're getting, I guess, the spooky stories about ghost ships. So let's get into it here. So, like I said, we are in between Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia. So somewhere in the water over there. The wind smells of salt, as it would, and the stories never die. Fishermen here tell of a ship that appears on foggy nights, glowing, silent, and burning from bow to stern. They call it the ghost ship of the Northumberland Strait. For more than 2 centuries, that's crazy that this has been going on for this long. Here, I'm going to put my phone here. For more than 2 centuries, people along the coast have claimed to see a massive 3-masted schooner lift up against the horizon. Its sails engulfed in flames. I mean, like, how do you mistake that? Honestly, it's not like it's an optical illusion or like a mirage. It's like you see whatever. You see water when you don't see water. Like, this is a ship, a massive ship on fire. Yeah. The first recorded sightings date back to the late 1700s when sailors off Charlottetown Harbor, and Charlottetown is in Prince Edward Island. Or is it? No, Charlottetown is, it's in Prince Edward Island. Gosh, my geography is poor today. Where they spotted what they thought was a vessel on fire. They rushed towards it, ready to help, but as they got close, the ship just vanished. And it sounds like multiple people had seen this. So it wasn't just one guy that was like, yeah, I swear it was on fire. Wow. Since then, the sightings have continued. So fishermen, tourists, lighthouse keepers, you would definitely think the lighthouse keepers have seen something like this. Right. They all describe the same sort of eerie image, a glowing ghost ship silently burning, but never consumed by flame, ever. So weird. Some say it's so bright that it lights up the water for miles. Others claim they can only see a shadowy figure running along the deck with a little bit of fire in the background. But they see these shadowy figures trying to douse flames, doomed to fight the same fire for eternity. Oh my word.
That sounds like a Jack Sparrow, right?
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean kind of story.
Like right? Davy Jones, like Davy Jones, to eternity.
The curse of having to relive the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Scary.
Wow. Woo.
So in 1900, a crew near Kingsport, Nova Scotia, swore they saw a ship in distress. They rowed hard for nearly an hour through rough, freezing water just to reach it. When they arrived, there was nothing, just waves, a faint smell of
Wow.
smoke. That's just it. They're all saying they can smell smoke. And
Wow.
like you're in the middle of the ocean, you're not smelling smoke unless
No,
there's
no.
smoke, right?
Right.
And then a
Wow.
few years later, another group tried to reach it from Prince Edward Island. This time they said the ship flickered like a lantern losing fuel and then disappeared right before their eyes.
Wow.
I know, right?
Wow.
So, like, what is it? That's what I
Yeah.
want to know. Some
Yeah.
believe it is, yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire. Exactly. Some believe it's the spirit of a doomed vessel. Maybe a merchant ship that caught fire and sank long ago with its crew trapped on board. Others think it's a mirage. Like we said,
Right.
the lights from a distant ship refracted by pockets of cold air above the water. Maybe, but like someone thought they saw people trying to put out fire, like
Wow.
running to get buckets. So I don't know. But even scientists admit the frequency of sightings always in the same area is hard to
Right.
explain.
Mhm.
Locals have noticed something else too, that the ghost ship seems to appear before storms. Hmm.
Hmm.
Old fishermen used to say, if you see the burning masks, you'll see the wild weather soon after. And more often than that, they were actually right. Now, one of the most chilling stories does come from a lighthouse keeper named Alex McDonald in 1965. So now we're talking like recent history here. I mean,
Wow.
things get lost in translation. I mean, they can get lost in translation from the 60s, but more likely than the 1700s, like losing
Right. Right.
translation. Right?
Yeah.
So he was on night duty near Wood Islands when the horizon suddenly turned orange. Ronald's cousin, get out of here. At first, he thought it was the dawn, but then he saw the sails, three of them glowing like torches. He watched for several minutes, transfixed. How could you not be? And then he blinked and the light was gone, not faded, just gone, just absolutely gone. When he checked out his watch, it was 2:03 a.m. He later said it was at that as if the time had stopped and it took the ship with it. So to this
Wow.
day, locals still report the ghost ship glowing in the mist,
Wow.
burning but never consumed, sailing a sea that never forgets. So if you stand on the cliffs of Prince Edward Island on a still night and you see this like faint orange light flickering above the water, take a picture of it. Call the Coast Guard. Well, maybe don't. They'll think you're crazy. Or who knows, like maybe you could actually get a glimpse of it on your phone because all these sightings that, at least that we're talking about here were long before quick cameraing.
Right.
So I
Right.
don't know. I should ask my father-in-law. He's from Nova Scotia. So we'll see if he's ever heard of this or seen this.
Wow. Glowing in the
Crazy,
mist.
hey?
That's a good title. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Creepy.
That would be a great kind of movie. Maybe the
Yeah.
next Pirates of the Caribbean kind of a thing, right? So
Listen, Hollywood, we don't need another Marvel movie. We don't. We don't need a remake of Spider-Man again or Batman, DC. We don't need another Batman movie. What we need is the ghost ship of Northumberland Strait or maybe something about the Fairmont hotels. Something.
yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. So we're actually a couple minutes early today, which is okay. We've said
Yeah.
what we had to say and then some. I will leave everyone with this though. I haven't done my calendar in a while. Today in 2015, and this is mind-blowing to me, China announces the end of its one-child policy after nearly 4 decades.
Only in 2015.
Only 10 years ago. I
No
know.
way.
And so if you hear people talk about this living in China, being a girl, their parents had to hide them because they would literally kill these children.
Yeah, I remember.
So,
Wow.
I mean, you think we're living in modern times and then you hear something like that. That was 2015. 2015 was not that long ago. That was 10 years ago.
Just 10 years ago, that was like a heartbeat ago.
Yeah, and that was still happening up until then. So,
Oh, I had no idea. I thought
yeah.
that had stopped long ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that alone is a spooky little fact here.
That is.
All right. Well, check us out tomorrow. I will be back with Miss JJ talking more spooky stories. Maybe I'll do the Edmonton and Calgary versions of the Fairmont.
Okay.
And then on Saturday, we are back with Ira and Lena and JP as they talk spooky stories. And then Sunday with Ron and Kenny. So make sure you check us out. Where can they find you?
They can find me on Facebook under Luannah Victoria or my website, soulspectivesinstitute.com.
Awesome.
Yeah, those are the best. And I'm on YouTube too. I have a lot of videos there under
Amazing.
Luannah as well. So yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You can also find me, you can go to my link tree here, Abounding Health, or my website, aboundinghealth.ca, that has access to all of my podcasts, or you can watch my podcast here on Fridays at the same time. So thanks everyone for being here. Great show. Hope you enjoyed all these spooky stories, and be back tomorrow for even more.
All right. Thank you. Awesome.
Bye, guys.